Duke Nukem was one of the most macho, hyper-masculine, testosterone-ridden action heroes we've ever seen in gaming. His emergence in the 1990s was shattering to the games industry. The cocky, crude, and unapologetically brash star defined a genre of mostly silent protagonists. And yet, for all these accolades, Duke Nukem's most recent adventure was an infamous game development story, but I'm here to make the case that the gaming industry needs Duke more than ever. Hi, I'm Obsessing Again. I'm not here to review, I'm here to deep dive. You name it, I've probably got an opinion on it. The landscape of gaming today, from Duke's first release, is hard to compare, as are the societal norms and values. The epitomised 80s action star of muscles and machine guns is a far cry from what we perceive heroes as today. Our heroes are super, and even this trend is on the decline. For every Stallone or Schwarzenegger we had in the box office, those icons have faded. The idea of an action star seems dated, but for video games I don't think that's the case. Perhaps more emphasis is put on character development in our box office heroes, but gaming can have it either way. Even the most recent shift from John Marston's character in Red Dead Redemption to Arthur Morgan in Red Dead Redemption 2 is an evolution of more mature stories supported by technology that can bring a realism that's close to the bone. A game that followed parallel to Duke was Doom. Though their protagonists couldn't be any more different, the brash and loud versus the silent but deadly type. Why the parallel is interesting is how both games, combat-wise, are quite alike. When Duke became 3D, both had a snappiness that was easy to pick up and responsive. The dizzying heights both franchises would reach. You could argue that Doom is more popular now thanks to the 2016 reboot. Two things are holding the return of Duke. The first being Take-Two and the politicised ownership of Duke, but more importantly, the failure of Duke Nukem Forever. Duke Nukem Forever is well documented in terms of its long production and eventual release, which was underwhelming to say the least. The initial reveal in 2001 could be one of the greatest trailers in gaming history. So much action, impressive graphics and animations, it looked ahead of its time. But as the game engine changes occurred during development, pivoting on story, the likes of Halo and Call of Duty would begin to dominate the market. Whilst I won't go too in on this element of the development upheaval, as there are many good videos that have done this, what I will say is why I think Duke Nukem could and should return.
Please hide. Please help us.
Man, this thing is really pissed off. A god of war. God of pain. Of suffering. Of destruction.
An almighty and powerful character in gaming that saw a revival was God of War's Kratos. Like Duke in depictions of power and magnitude, his revival was done faithfully, but had much more development as a character. 2018's God of War was not only beautifully written, but had a very cinematic story that gave Kratos more to chew on in scenes. They created a story that enhanced the character, created an emotional bond for players, whilst not shying from his past. For Duke, I don't think it's beneficial to have an emotional connection, but for better story and writing to serve him, by having better punchlines and better stakes for saving the galaxy would make him a better protagonist. Earlier I mentioned how society has changed, and society is always evolving. I think politically, socio-economically, that people, gamers, would find great delight in a character like him. We have power fantasies, we have satirical characters, but the amalgamation makes him truly unique. For all the shooters, we don't have a sole character whose one-liners alone could carry a game on their back. Nostalgia sells, we see it in remakes and remasters over and over. Duke is no different, but for him to truly be taken by gamers, a return to the 3D, the absurd, the outlandish and downright awful. Whilst some of his jokes have aged like milk regarding the wholesome twins, some have aged like fine wine.
For making lewd gestures.
Fuck yeah, I'm back, baby. Shake it, baby.
His creation as a character stemmed from hyper-masculine movie box office stars. Though it doesn't resonate in today's entertainment, there's something that could be brilliant about bringing Duke back. A guy who is a relic of a bygone era in a modern setting, hilariously out of touch. It's the ultimate satirical take. A man who earnestly loves his country, loves babes, and loves being the guy. With his character, you don't have to erode personality traits that might be offensive to today's audience, or political beliefs, ideologies that seem antiquated. The thoughts and perspectives from a 90s star should be doubled down. Majority of characters evolved with the time, and for the story of God of War needed to, because it wanted a more grounded and relatable story about being a better person tomorrow, and a more remorseful Kratos than the one we saw in Greece. Even the sexualization of Lara Croft has become muted. They gave her more purpose beyond looks, making her more flawed, making her more human. Duke Nukem's humour is a strong trait. Wineliners provided levity in moments of pure chaos, shooting aliens, driving cars, explosions. Cheeky, irreverent beyond his exaggerated looks made him stand out from other characters. He is towing the line of parody, self-aware enough to build a rapport with the player. It's the wink at the audience, breaking the third wall. The modern day equivalent would be Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool in terms of being self-referential, but even Ryan's charm couldn't match the illustrious bleach blonde shooter. The core Duke Nukem games only consist of 4 released between 1991 to 2011, and with some small spin-offs and portables in between, really make you question how Duke has any leg to stand on. Like any rock star, critically acclaimed releases at the start and either fades into obscurity or burns bright for all the wrong reasons. Yet I don't think Duke is a washed up has-been. Sure, Duke Nukem Forever has been immortalised for all the wrong reasons, but our society needs a guy like Duke. The world is changing at a rapid rate, and that is felt in the gap between Duke Nukem 3D and Duke Nukem Forever. The chaotic development is reflected in the perception the game has on Duke, and how Duke reacts. It felt dated in 2011, and feels even more dated now. But yet there's an opportunity to make something of this. You can still make him the cool guy, but like a good comedian, you're laughing along with him, not at him. His antiquated takes on society, being met with modern sensibilities, will make him a dinosaur people can vouch for. Toilet humour was taken too literally in the last game and crossed the boundary between funny, on the nose to straight up odd. For a young gamer who has no recollection, he should be that figure you can't help but be engrossed in.
Hey, are you like a toy or something? Come to life? Oh, you're pretty cool.
I'm not a toy, kid. I'm an action figure.
Like Duke Nukem Forever, it was saving the world, it was tropey, but you didn't feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. To revisit the scenario, we need more people rallying for Duke. With the world in turmoil, Duke needs his own bat sign moment, his own is that a bird or a plane? If there are no Duke games on the horizon, why not stay dead? Is he so out of the loop you're better off making a new IP? A valid argument. Beyond me vouching for him personally, there is a group of dedicated fans trying to rebuild Duke Nukem 2001, building on what could have been the greatest game of a generation. A group of enthusiasts who are taking the steps to not only rebuild a promising game, but placing a stake in the ground for wanting to bring Duke back. It's a passionate few projecting to the abyss of gamers, shining a light on people who are either not familiar or people who want to be reacquainted. The king isn't dead. The king is on a prolonged break. The king should return for our gaming sins. Talk trash about microtransactions. Give a story worth shouting about. Shoot down the live service rebuttal that it's good for the industry. Go against the grain. Call people out. Be brash and loud. Give the gamers a game worth playing. Give the gamer the ultimate power fantasy. Give the gamers the return of Duke Nukem. Thank you for letting me obsess again.